The dream always starts the same.
I'm Caleb Williams.
Just one in a million.
I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
You're right, Jason Momoa. The dream always does start the same. And this game was like the dream that started the same. The Bears go down 21-3 and win the football game against the Packers in Ben Johnson's first playoff game. The Chicago Bears, staring down the barrel of a excruciating offseason where we would be heckled by Packers fans for 6 months, came back down 21-3 in this playoff game. Colston Loveland set rookie tight end records, and Ben Johnson, when it was all said and done, laughed in Matt LaFleur's face, and now his job is in question. I'm going to break down everything that just happened in this Bears-Packers game. Stick around to find out how this happened and what's going to happen next. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, comment your thoughts about the game, and follow me over on Josh Fine Film Design for some amazing sports cinema. So you can hear me, I lost my voice because I was going so crazy during this game. And I'll share some videos of how my friends and I reacted to this game. I couldn't stop hugging them for hours. I couldn't stop screaming. We were smoking that pack, if you know what I'm saying. So the Bears got the ball to start the game, and they started the game with a 5-minute drive that resulted in 3 points. And it looked like it was going to be the classic Bears of this season, where they just pound the rock all game long until they wear you out and gash you by the end of the game. However, quickly after that, the Packers came back and ran our defense off the field. And not just in the ensuing drive after the Bears' opening field goal, but for literally the entire first half. They scored 3 touchdowns in the first half and made it look easy. Meanwhile, the Bears' offense, after the first 3 points, could not get anything going. So the first half, it looked like it was going to be wraps for the Bears. However, the Packers got the ball near the end of the second half and marched down the field and lined up for a field goal, and Brandon McManus missed. This is when all the momentum went in Chicago's favor. Even though the Packers got the ball back in the second half, the Bears defense finally got a stop. And then for the entire third quarter, Caleb Williams starts to push the ball downfield and absolutely force feeds Colston Loveland. In the third quarter, Colston Loveland had 53 yards, and he topped that in the fourth quarter with 62 yards. Unbelievable performance from Colston Loveland. He's the first rookie tight end to ever notch 8 receptions and over 100 yards in a playoff game. And it is safe to say that he is going to make serious noise for years to come and was well worth the top 10 pick. So through the third and fourth quarter, the Bears get this remarkable stretch of stopping and scoring, stopping and scoring, except there was one interception that Caleb threw with 3 minutes left in the third quarter where the Bears were going for it on 4th and 1, and he threw it, and instead of scoring on that drive or kicking a field goal or converting the 4th down, Caleb threw an interception within the 5-yard line. And frankly, this should have sealed the game, because at that point in the game, the Bears were still down 21-6. All they had to do was just score, and they could have put this game away. But what the Bears have done all season, and I've said it over and over again every time I've talked about the Bears, is that you cannot put them away. And they, even with a 1% chance in the fourth quarter, are probably going to win. So, and the Packers somehow did not learn their lesson from last time, that you need to keep your foot on the gas against the Bears. There was a wild series of plays and events that took place. You know, I think about the Bears forcing the fumble on the big man, and the Jaquan Brisker who tried to crawl to get it, and then it went out of bounds, and there was another missed opportunity for the Bears. And then, you know, all of the insane throws that Caleb was making. In particular, I'm thinking about the 4th and 8 that Caleb threw with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That looked like a prayer, but it was actually a drop in the bucket. And this is why we picked the quarterback #1 overall, because he toppled the single season passing record for the Bears. He threw 27 touchdowns to 7 interceptions this year and makes these sorts of plays that literally nobody else in the NFL can make. And we needed every bit of it to beat the Packers in this playoff game. Our first playoff victory since 2010. So after all of those plays, Caleb connects with Olamide Zaccheaus for a touchdown, and then later connects with DJ Moore for a touchdown. And the Packers get the ball and have a chance to take the lead back, less than 2 minutes left, and they fail. They find themselves not even in the red zone, and they have to score a touchdown, and they just miss on all their attempts until the clock expired. So that's the game recap. But how impactful was this game, actually? This is the largest comeback in Bears-Packers history. 18 points. The Bears scored 25 in the fourth quarter to make that happen. Largest comeback in Bears-Packers history, and the largest comeback in Bears playoff history. And speaking of those 25 points, the Bears were only the 3rd team in playoff history to score 25 points or more in a fourth quarter. unbelievable. And the Bears did not even get a takeaway in this game. This year they led the league in takeaways, and there was only 2 other games this entire season where the Bears got 0 takeaways. And that was Week 8 at the Ravens, which we lost, and Week 18 versus Detroit, which we also lost. So this is the only game this season where the Bears got 0 takeaways and still won. Additionally, what's crazy about this game and how this goes against everything within the Bears' identity is that they only rushed for 93 yards this game. That's their 4th lowest rushing total this entire season. Although the defense looked terrible in the first half, they really put the clamps on in the second half, and Montez Sweat got a game ball for bringing the pressure to Jordan Love throughout a lot of the night. Now, the Bears' D-line has just done a terrible job throughout the entire final stretch of the regular season and yesterday. But Montez Sweat did make a little bit of a difference, and as far as all of the quarterback rushes go for our team, he was probably the most impactful one. I know Austin Booker had a good hit on Jordan Love, and he was making a little bit of noise in the trenches, but Montez Sweat got the game ball for the defense, and Colson Loveland got the game ball for the offense. An electric breakout performance from the rookie tight end, and I just cannot stress enough how vital he is going to be for the Bears offense in the future. So the Bears won the game. They've put up 25 points in the 4th quarter, despite not getting a takeaway and despite having a very low rushing total. On the night, Caleb Williams, 361 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions on a 50% completion percentage, which is very typical for Caleb. He's been around that 50 to 60 mark all year long. Very, very low, like maybe the lowest in the entire NFL. But it doesn't really matter because he's making plays that nobody else can make, and he's winning these games down the stretch, and he's probably the best quarterback in the 4th quarter in the entire NFL right now. What about the Packers, right? This was a coaching disaster class by Matt LaFleur. In the first half, he was running laps around Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson. He was reminding us why the Packers have said they own the Bears for the past 10 years. And he was genuinely humbling me and flattening my entire joy of the 2025 season. And here's what went wrong. He only gave his offense 7 carries in the second half, which is crazy because when you are holding such an enormous lead, you just have to run the ball. And it was a miracle that despite so many passing attempts for Jordan Love in the second half, none of them were interceptions. And the Packers fumbled the ball many, many times. And the fact that they didn't lose any of them was also a miracle for the Packers. 7 carries in the second half is probably a fireable offense. And if you ask any Packers fan right now, they will tell you, I want Matt LaFleur gone. I was watching this at my buddy's house, who is a Packers fan, and all he could say after the game was, fire Matt LaFleur. I don't want him on my team anymore. Promote Jeff Hafley. Do whatever. Adam Schefter just came out this morning, and he said that the Packers front office has a very serious dilemma on their hands because Matt LaFleur is going into an expiring year on his deal, and they're probably very nervous about extending him. Here's why. The Packers season is done after letting up 25 points in the 4th quarter, and this is not nearly the first time the Packers have had a terrible, embarrassing loss in the 2025 season. In fact, there have been multiple. In Week 3, the Packers blew a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter to the Browns and lost the game. Whenever they played the Cowboys, they tied the Cowboys, which you can't do. The Cowboys were a bad team, and tying to them is basically a loss. The Bears beat them. Everybody else beat them. There's no reason you should be tying to the Cowboys in 2025 with as talented as a roster as the Packers have. In Week 9, they lost to the Panthers, another team you just cannot lose to if you want to be taken seriously. In Week 16, the way they choked the game away to the Chicago Bears was unbelievable. In Week 17, they got destroyed by Derrick Henry on the ground and got embarrassed in that game. So when you think about the Browns, Cowboys, Panthers, and 2 excruciating Bears losses, I don't think that Matt LaFleur's job is safe, and I don't think it should be safe. Speaking of Matt LaFleur, Ben Johnson showed the utmost disrespect for him all night long, especially after the game. There were videos that came out where Ben Johnson was basically laughing in Matt LaFleur's face, and he barely even shook his hand on the field after the game. And then he gets into the locker room and literally shouts, "Fuck the Packers." This Bears team has a hatred for the Packers like we haven't seen since the Mike Ditka era. That was back when the teams were trading literal bags of feces into each other's locker rooms when they played each other. They were taking dirty hits on the quarterback back in those days. And I believe that right now, there is more hatred between the Bears and Packers than ever before since then. In Week 16, when the Bears beat the Packers, DJ Moore got on the mic and said, "It's always F the Packers." Like, this rivalry is so back.
At the end of the day, it's F the Packers always.
They have basically split every other matchup between each other in the last 2 years. So the hatred is there, the back and forth is there, and the Bears finally got a real big one on the Packers. This is the first time the Bears have beaten the Packers since 1941 in the postseason. And so Matt LaFleur choked all season long, and he got disrespected by his most hated division rival literally in his face. And you have videos on social media of the rival head coach yelling to all his players in the locker room, "Fuck the Packers." So what if the Packers actually fire him? Well, the head coaching market this year is not bad. You have Kevin Stefanski, John Harbaugh. In my personal pick for the Packers would be none other than Mike McCarthy. But all jokes aside, I think that many Packers fans would be totally okay with them firing Matt LaFleur because of his ineptitude in certain moments and promoting Jeff Hafley, their defensive coordinator. The Packers next season, despite this excruciating loss, might have a lot to look forward to because they're going to get Micah Parsons back and Tucker Kraft, and who knows if they'll keep the head coach, but if they can keep their best players healthy, they might be very serious next year if they can hold it together and not lose a bunch of games that they're supposed to win. I just don't know how you lose that game if you're the Packers. You just can't. And the Bears have only won games this season by running the ball at an elite level and taking the ball away on defense at an elite level. And the Bears didn't do either of those in this game and still won despite being down 21-3. This Bears season will be etched in the history books, maybe forever. They've won 7 games this season now where they were losing within 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, which is the most in NFL history. I can make a video, previewing the next Bears matchup. We don't know who it's going to be, but we'll probably see the Eagles or the Rams, and there's one of those that I like a lot more than the other. So, boy, I do not want to see the Rams. But the Bears are guaranteed one more home playoff game at Soldier Field, and we get our first playoff victory since 2010. Just the future is bright and good, better, best. So I just wanted to get my general reaction to the game. That's about all I have, man. There's so much to this game. Again, subscribe, like, comment your thoughts on the game, and follow Josh Friend Film Design. And I will see you guys in the next video.